Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here for a couple of things. One, I'm going to do a layout share with a set of 8 layouts that I created for one event. It was a birthday party at my cousin's house for a multitude of family members, and I used 100% Amy Tangerine. This is the Picnic in the Park paper pad. I got it at Tuesday morning and decided that I would try and use this completely. I don't even think I used any matte papers. I'm pretty sure everything was on these papers from here. So there were 48 sheets and I have definitely used quite a few of them, but I still have quite a few left. Lots of neat pages that are pretty versatile for any kind of holiday or any kind of layouts. So I'm going to share what I created real quick. I also went kind of minimalist on the ephemera and everything. So this is my cousin. It's her birthday party, if you couldn't tell. I just used, like, all of them are titled or have one of these 3x3 cut aparts that came from the book as well. And then just some birthday stickers or embellishments that I tried to pick that went along with either exactly the color or like this blue is dark. It's darker than this, but I brought this blue back in up here, so it kind of brings it together. This orangey peach color is actually the same color that is in the glasses here and here. So this was actually my design team sketch for scrapbookingwitannemarie.com for this past Friday. So there's the first page I created. Here is the second one. This is the rest of the birthday people who were at the party. And I used, because these will be facing, I used the same papers in just different ways. I actually cut a piece out of this paper and I just covered it with this purple. And it looks like there's a 12 by 12 strip here and like an 8-inch strip here, but it's cut in a lot of places. This is literally like a 1/2-inch strip. This I pulled in and made a banner out of the papers just so I could bring this on your special day in, and added some embroidery thread to it and a couple of little things. And the funny thing is, this is October, so I think I may end up writing on here Summer 11 and then in October. This chipboard I put on here. This is their dessert. I almost put something about blowing out the candles, but neither one of them blew on the candle. Even though it was their individual piece, they put the candles out by doing the clap thing. So, which was pretty funny. So, this finished off a chipboard set that I've had since 2012 or 2013. So that was super exciting. There's another one of those somewhere in this stack. So there is page number 2. Here is page number 3. These are my cousin's poochies, and I took them in portrait. I thought they turned out really great. Every page has, maybe not every page. So the first 2 pages do not have inks on them, but the rest of them do, and I'll explain at the last page why. This is opal, so I put an opal heart on here, and this is ruby, so I put a ruby looking heart on here. This is Park Lane, and this is just from Crafter Square, which is the dollar store. Titled it Say Cheese. Put some confetti on here, even though it's not their birthdays, it was a birthday party. Used some yellow distress inks from Tim Holtz and Ranger. This is the border strip, and then this is just a piece of scrap that I had left over. And then here's 2 small strips to tie it all in together. Same with these green ones. So there is page number 3. Page number 4, I put a circle cutout that I created in my spray box, and I sprayed it with some mica mist, 2 different colors, although they kind of end up looking almost exactly the same. One is pewter and one is brass, I think. And then I tapped in my black shimmer Delusion shimmer spray. I just tapped that in, and it kind of looks speckled like, you know, a puppy dog, although Opal is white. Titled it Woohoo Hooray, which is a half of one of the 3x3s. I really wanted it to fit here and not cover up a lot more because I had forgotten the title and then realized that I had done that. So I didn't want the whole thing because it would have come down and hidden a lot of that. Sometimes I don't mind hiding some of the inks and stuff, but I didn't want to cover too much of that. So these are just strips of leftover pieces that I had. This is a border strip, and it has a little hole in the middle because of the top of the book, so I just find something to put over it. And this is a border strip that I cut in half. Page number 5, this is us just hanging out. Life is Good is the title of the page. And I did some fussy cutting, just a little of these florals that came from this kit that match this. Figured this being the only place to have florals on here, other than there are florals on the background tablecloth looking paper. I wanted to bring some in to help kind of like encompass the pictures. I put a grill over here and a hamburger and hot dogs, and a little bit of confetti. Brought in another label that says Together, and this is the London Blue Shimmer Spray by Delusions, Ranger Delusions Shimmer Spray. Page number 6 is the facing page, and this is my newest cousin who was just introduced to the world. So I titled this Hello New Baby. This is the first time we met him because of COVID. We haven't been able to go in ooey gooey on him. There is, and I don't know if you can see it really well, but there is, I put a stencil that I created on my Cricut in here, and then I sprayed through it with that same London Blue. I knew that it would not be like really bold because it was blue on blue, but it is shimmery, and in person I can definitely see it. I also sprayed the top corners, and it is a lot less visible, but it's still kind of shiny. So that's where I went ahead and put my photo clusters. And then because there was a border on the outside that did not have this graph or grid on it, I decided I wanted to bring this paper in anyway. So I tore it from top to here and here, and then I just used this to cover, and I love the way this page turned out. Then this one is page number 7, and I put multiple different colors of the sprays on here. I just tap them like this in my box, and I try to pull as many colors that were close to the colors that are in these rainbows. Used the rainbow cut apart, trimmed it down, and then used some scraps that I had from the different papers I'd used, and just made a little background for it. I didn't want it in rainbow order because none of these are like in specific order. So I just put them in like I separated the bluey green colors and put different colors in between. And this flower and this Create Memories is the end of another thing that I have had since maybe 2007 that I've been trying to use up over the last couple months. My goal was to get it used before the end of the year, and I have thrown the whole thing away. One of them was Mamby chips, and one of them was, I can't even remember. One of them was this Hullabaloo by Making Memories. So I finally got it used up. I finished this side about a week or so ago, and then I just finished this one. And these, 2008. Had them a long, long time. And then the very last page of this series of pages is this one. And this is my son in the pool, and I titled it A Perfect Day in Every Way. And this is obviously not, well, I don't know if it's obvious or not, but it's not from the paper pad. This is the only thing in here that's not from the paper pad, because my son made this the day before we went to this picnic. He made this paper for me for pictures of the pool. So he specifically asked me if he could make paper, and because the pool is surrounded by, after you get through anyway, he wanted to do it in green and with the London Blue shimmer sprays. So he made little sprays in different places, and he said it would look like, the water and the grass. So that was the first page that ever got created, the background page. So that's why I brought in the sprays for the majority of the other pages. And I wanted to make this kind of simple to show off his base page that he created for me. And so I matted it in the paper, the rainbow paper. So this will face the rainbow page I just showed you. And so then I put this, I triple matted this little phrase on the rainbow paper and then on the blue paper to bring the blue in. Added a little flamingo, and that was it. So this is what I have left from the scraps that I've done those 8 layouts plus a couple others. So I have all of this bigger pieces. And this is from where I had torn that one page. And then this is actually not a scrap. It's just, I pulled it out because I wanted the border strip on the top. And then I have all of these. Now, I am the queen of the scraps. I have scraps everywhere. I keep my borders in this Pringles can that I decorated. I got that idea from somebody on Facebook, I think. So I keep all of this stuff. Now, some of these little itty bitties may get thrown out if I don't use them, you know, like this itty bitty little strip here. But anything that I can either mat or use like border strips, I will keep. So my thought is I'm going to try and use up as many of these and these as I can and make a few more pages. So I thought I'd make one real quick as a process. I thought I would go ahead with a birthday layout. However, I am putting all of those 8 layouts that I just shared with you in my 2021 book. But prior to 2021, I separated my holidays and birthdays and stuff out. So I want to make a layout or 2 that'll go in another book. So that way I don't have a ton of this like back to back, because I try and scrapbook in order and then go back and do old pictures in the middle. That is my current status. So I thought that I would use this one. This is, I believe, my 13th birthday. So there I am, 1988. Me and my sister and 2 of our very close family friends all celebrated together. And so we always got a cake that was separated into 4 pieces. And so I thought I could use some of these bigger pieces and do some 6x6. And then I have this stack of pictures from my cousin's first or maybe second birthday. Nope, 3rd birthday. I see a candle. There's a ton of these, and so I want to do maybe a couple of layouts with these. Not all of these are great pictures. And then this is the other one I want to go ahead and work with, because this is the cousin that was in the very first layout, and her and my grandmother shared, well, we're one day apart on birthdays. So I thought I would make a layout for them. So these are the 3 sets that I want to work with. And so on camera now, I think I will go ahead and make one, using up as many of these scraps as I can. And then as I have the ability to do so, depending on how many layouts or how many pages are left, I will make some more and post those on Facebook and on Instagram later. So I hope y'all will bear with me as we try something new. All right, so I picked this picture of the 4 of us celebrating our birthdays together. And our birthday cake is 1 large cake separated into 4 pieces, and each of us have like our own little mini cake, but it's all connected. So I decided that I'm going to use 4 different colors of my scraps and make 4 6x6 squares. Now, they are not 6x6 because they're not full. Some of them are not full squares. There's little pieces like pulled out. But I'm going to make that work because I'm just cool like that. Just kidding. Because I know that I can finagle, and the picture is going to go in the middle. So if it doesn't fully connect in the middle, it will be covered by the picture. So I'm okay with that. So I cut this 6x6 out of this cloud paper, and that scrap right there will be on the next layout that I create. I have used a ton of the scraps that are left over. I've done 3 more layouts since this one I'm working on now, and I am about to start my 4th, and I am still using up the scraps from that pile right there on the right. So after pardon my chair, it is the weirdest squeaky chair. So I get this Post-it note and I write the date on the back. And if there were any other information that I might have forgotten, I would have also written that there so that I don't forget what's on the back of the daggone picture. I cannot tell you how many times I do that. I will write the date on the back and I'm so proud of myself. And then I scrap it and I'm like, what did that say? So I am going to mat this picture on this lovely little blue with the little white pattern in it. And so I am getting that ready right now. I'm cutting the paper down with my Creative Memories paper trimmer. And I am going to mat that. I picked this blue because it was bold. And in comparison to the 4 colors that I selected for the 4 squares on the page. So I thought that was my original thought was that I was going to have that be the base. But then I later decide I need something a little bigger because it's not because I need it to cover anything because I got that all under control. But because I really want, since it's the only picture on this entire layout, I really want it to be, you know, like a boom in your face kind of thing. Like, look at me kind of situation, not, you know, it's going to be under embellished for sure. So I'm not really worried about you looking at anything else on this page because there's not a whole lot to look at. But anywho, so I take this watermelon paper and I have decided that since I don't really need this watermelon paper, I'm going to use that as my base page. It's going to be completely covered, so you're not going to even see it. But I bought one of the, I don't know if you've ever been to Tuesday Morning, but I found this awesome Simple Stories paper. I think it's called Oh Happy Day at Tuesday Morning. And it was 25 sheets. And it's rainbows on one side and watermelon. No. It's American Crafts and it's watermelons on one side and this pretty green on the other side. And I bought that and I have like 25 sheets of it. So I've used a ton of it, but I do not need any more watermelon paper in my life. So I cut a half inch off the top and the side. So A, this is going to be matted fully, and B, those 6x6-ish squares are going to fit better on the page. So, and there will be overlapping enough to where there is no watermelons showing. So when I put these down, I put tape on the top and bottom of all the squares, but I only take the double-sided tape off the top of the blue cloud paper and the bottom of the yellow paper. It's got like little V's or hearts or something on it. And then I do the same thing with this pinkish colored square paper. I just take the tape off of the back on the bottom so that the middle section is still untaped so that I can maneuver it however I need to fit properly so the majority of the paper is covered, which in the end, all of it is covered. And I'm so excited for the way that it turned out. Look how lovely that is. See, I even clapped for myself. Oh, so sad. So I am getting some foam, which is from Walmart. And I just cut it down. This picture is like old school. I mean, it's 1988, guys. Came from some actual film. So it is like a 3.5 by 5, just under 5 inches. So I put some fun foam on the back of this blue mat. But I decide that I want to make it a bigger picture. Like I said, I want a bigger piece back there. So I decide to put, to get my paper pad out and find another piece of paper. Because like I said, I don't have anything big enough to mat my picture that's not one of these 4 colors that's already on there. So that is what I'm doing right now. I am hunting down another piece of paper to mat this on. So I'm measuring it right now so I know what size I need to make the cut. So I do make more scraps that way, but that's okay because I've already used most of them up in the layouts that I've created. Go me. If nothing, I am my own cheerleader. So I am putting this on this lovely purple paper with hearts all over it. And I mean, come on. Doesn't that look lovely? There's purple in the stripes in the top right. And there's going to be some purple in some of my minuscule embellishment. And I think that's perfect. Like, I pulled in all the different colors. And I really do like the way that this simple layout comes together. So I left most of this entire thing in here so you could see how quickly this gets done. Like, when I created this video, which was the layout share and talking your ear off about all the different, this and that, plus creating this layout, the whole thing took 40 minutes. Of course, I sped up this part so that you're not sitting here for 40 minutes. And the only thing I cut out was about 1.5 minutes of inking around my layout, and something, maybe trimming something up at the end. So you pretty much are seeing everything. It took me, I think, 20 minutes to create this layout. And a lot of that was because I was second guessing myself. So I use these Sticko Letters, and they are like foam, and they are thick. Like, they come off the page. They're dimensional, and I like them a lot. I got them at Walmart for like $1.97 or something. So yay, go me. I just put 1988 up there. And so then I decide I'm going to trim. The little cloud came over the side a little bit. So I'm going to trim that off, fix some of the double-sided tape that needs to get picked up and stuck down. And then I decide I'm going to use white paper as my background. So I have Colorbok paper. There's the paper pad. I use this as my base page often. It's textured on one side and smooth on the other, and I love that. It's $5 for 40 sheets of paper. Can't go wrong. So I get that pulled off, or the little binding strip pulled off. And when I lay that down, I realize, like, where the clouds are and where some of the little squares at the bottom are, the white disappears into the page. So I go ahead and use my black soot distress ink from Ranger and ink up the entire thing with my little dauber. And then I get that glued down after I get it kind of even. I'm an eyeballer, guys. I do not measure, I eyeball. So as Scrappy Adam says, I embrace the wonk. I'm okay with that. And then I get my title from a cut apart. It's a 3x3 cut apart from the paper pad. This is a really great day. It's in yellow, which is in both the other side, both of the right side papers, as well as in the hearts on that middle paper. So I am putting that on this blue paper that is the same as my pictures matted in. And it is not standing out as much as I'd like it to against that pinky color on the bottom. So I decided I'm going to mat it. I don't have anything that's big enough really, because it's just a smidge bigger than this blue paper. So there's a couple ways that I have decided that I fix things like that. So one, I could have put the part that does not fully cover in the bottom right and tucked it in like I'm going to do. Or what I ended up doing was put the paper down and then just put a little piece of paper to fix the difference. And with this dark paper, you cannot tell at all. Like, I'm looking at it up close and personal, and I cannot see where the one piece of paper ends and the other piece it begins. So like I said, where I tuck it in the bottom right, I could have put that there, but I didn't. But that's okay. It's up there. I can't even tell you where it is. I think it's the upper right corner once I get it done. And I didn't even know. Like, I'm literally sitting here less than a foot away from this, and I couldn't tell. So yay me. See, my own cheerleader. So now that I have the title on there, I am going to get some embellishments. So this is part of my birthday stuff. I have lots and lots of birthday embellishments. These are some of my older ones and dollar store ones that I am utilizing and trying to get on pages. Some of the other stuff I have is more specific things for like certain kinds of birthdays. So I pull this eat cake out and then change my mind because it is off-white on the background and everything on this page is white. So I don't want to do that. And so I get this Crafter Square Happy Birthday banners out. And I get these confetti. I think they're Sticko confetti, Stickopotamus. And I put those on there. And they are purple and yellow and purple and green. And I just make sure that the part that is touching the purple heart paper is not the purple. So it's the yellow. So it's not as drastic a difference, like the purples are not the same, which is fine with me, but I didn't want them right next to each other. So I just have the purple part being further away from that paper in the middle. So then I look and see about putting any of those on there. None of them fit properly in like what they are or what color schemes I want to use. Then I decide I'm going to use these happy birthday banners because other than the purple being off, the other colors are pretty close to what is on the heart paper and the stripe paper. So I go ahead and put those underneath the picture as a banner to say happy birthday. And that is really the end of it. So I hope that you all got something out of this. I ended up creating 5 more layouts with these scraps. So I'm super happy about that, and not much is going into the trash. So hope you all have a great night and get a chance to do something you love with someone you love. Happy scrapping.